7,695 pounds, the dual opposing living room super slide Wildwood 27RE coming in down to us pre-owned here at Advantage One RV Brokers. This is the consignment location for Haylett RV. We're selling this RV on behalf of someone, but we can still do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, RV delivery, and everything in between. You are not inheriting someone's problems. This is one owner, very well kept. There's really nothing but good to be had here. Now, one of my favorite aspects of this RV is actually one of the hardest for me to contend with as I'm recording it. And that is all of these windows. The panoramic viewing that you get off the just huge rear window and all the campsite windows. The light, the airflow you get at your campsite's awesome. Problem is, it's really not camera friendly when you're looking, at a light dark contrast like this. But the good news is, I think overall we're going to get there. It doesn't look like this got used a lot. This really appears to be in kind of like, it almost feels like everybody just pulled the shrink wrapping like off the furniture almost. It's very near factory fresh in here. You see the dual opposing recliners right there, straight across from the entertainment center. This RV would have been built with no television from the factory, so the previous owners did add that, which is kind of cool. Again, the windows, tons of light and air, but they also provide us with plenty of privacy if you do want to utilize those roll-down blackout shades. This is a full Wildwood, not an X-Lite, so it does have a 6'9" ceiling. We are a Wildwood dealer down at Haylett RV, if you weren't aware, so this is an RV with which I am very familiar. This floor plan basically still in production today, only with a couple furniture swaps. But speaking of the furniture, I really like what I see here. I like the color patterns. You can see it's not all worn down, it's not all chewed up. These are dual recliners, both of them individually, so it's nice that you can each individually shift and recline without jiggling the other one around. Just little things like that are kind of handy sometimes. This is a bifold sleeper sofa in the back here, but you can see that there's a drawer for easy access to the storage below. And if you're really looking at this RV, if you compare this to today's Wildwoods, you see where a lot of the groundwork of today's Wildwoods was in place. Like, that's kind of the precursor to those big giant tote storage things that they include in them now. And there are household outlets on both sides of that sofa, by the way, so you can easily plug in some like USB adapters or just be able to plug in a tablet or whatever. Electric space heating fireplace over here, taking the nip out of the air. DVD Bluetooth player. A lot of things are just AM, FM, Bluetooth now. On a rainy day, sometimes it is nice to have that disc capacity available. And once again, that's a TV that somebody added, a nice sized one at that, somebody added aftermarket. And despite the fact that it looks like they weren't using the RV, they decided to leave the TV that they bought for the RV in the RV. There's a lot of TVs and RVs in that sense. It's a little confusing. I had to really think my way through it. But you get the idea. That's a good sign to me. These folks, they weren't scavengers or anything like that. Everything had a place, and they left those things in their places. I like seeing things like that. Easy reach outlets are another thing I like to see. You'll see more easy reach outlets like just to the left of that kitchen window back there. In the kitchen, this does have solid surface countertops as well. Just a nice little shine factor right below that high-rise sprayer faucet. And, you look at that wall that's shared with the bathroom and you're going, oh man, I feel like I'm missing storage, but I don't really think you are. If you look over here in the kitchen, you've got a dedicated pantry right in the slide out, which is awesome. Good drawer space down here. I mean, it's got all the essentials. It's got them handled. Now, quick point of clarity. The Wildwood was actually the first brand to standardize 12-volt compressor refrigerators. And at a glance, you're looking at it thinking that's one of those. This was the last generation of Wildwood before they swapped over to a 12-volt compressor fridge. So this is a 110 compressor fridge. It does, however, include an inverter mounted in the front storage compartment that we'll see when we step outside, so that if you do want to be able to run that off your battery for transit purposes or some very limited boondocking time, like off-grid, it is capable of doing that. So it is still a very traveling friendly fridge in that regard. Flipping over here, Just another look at the, you know, the seating from the other direction. A better look at the dining and the windows here. But that's what I love about this. You get to look at your campsite, not the neighbors. Little things like that, you know, they make a difference. Now, we didn't build this RV. This was, you know, again, sold before Haylett RV happened to pick up Wildwood about 2 years ago now. And so I don't know if that's a 15,000 or 13.5 air conditioner. I know that we would build it with a 15. I just don't know if this one is. There are LED accent lights above both slides, by the way, if you want to flip those on, which can be, it just brightens the RV up during the day, but it's also really cool in the way that it really just kind of gives you some good nightlight kind of access. Now, this is something you don't see from the Wildwood group very much anymore, but it's a remote control for things like your slides, awnings. I believe this can actually even operate your power stabilizer jacks equipped on this RV, so there's a lot of cool things it can do. The bathroom here, you got to really get into it, because if you just glance in like this, you're going to miss a couple of the best parts, because like if you're just looking right here, it looks a little plain, although I do like how you actually have a place, you know, be able to put some towel hooks on the wall or whatever. And, you know, the sink, the vanity, it's a basic series camper. That's not going to blow you away. But what's really nice, what you need to be paying attention to, is the taller shower, because it is a 6'9" interior. That does mean that even a big person like me can, you know, easily take a shower in here. But this right here is probably the best part of the bathroom. You see the hidden hinges going on all the cabinetry here. This big, deep pantry, not pantry, good lord, linen or, you know, like body wash, toiletry space. This is probably the best part of this bathroom, along with that big elbow-friendly radius shower. So this is actually a really good bathroom, but you actually have to walk in to see it. I think that's something I really wanted to cover in this video. Bedroom is simple but effective, but it's got a couple cool things going on with it. Like, this is a camp queen, but if you notice, there's tons of room at the foot of the bed. If you need to get in here and get dressed or do some jumping jacks, frankly, I think you could theoretically put a yoga mat down on the floor right here if you want to do some RV yoga. Have you ever been at a campground and seen one of these crazy individuals who actually, you know, really takes charge of their personal physical health and like doing things like exercising on vacation? That doesn't even make sense to me. I'm on vacation to have, you know, a can of some kind of drink in my hand, questionably early, and, and, you know, s'mores and whatever I can cook on the grill. But you have more room still. You want to flip that bed up on the way, you have, like, even more of a dressing space. Or, I don't know, on a rainy day, if you got a grandkid, you've got a neat little kind of somewhat corralled play space here. Now, I mentioned that you can see, and you can see so easily because this is an easy lift bed, but you can see up through the front compartment. Now, that carpet right there is not part of the camper. You can see that. The folks put that in there so that, like, stuff like their cargo and their hitching didn't scuff up the floor. So even inside a compartment where you didn't expect anyone to look, they were still being conscious of taking care of this thing. But I mentioned about like that inverter and stuff. That's what that boxy job is right over there. That is our Xantrex inverter to be able to run that refrigerator off 12-volt power. Now, that will tax your batteries pretty greatly, so it's only recommended for just traveling and short-term use. If you want to be able to run this fridge boondocking off-grid, you're probably going to want to bring a small generator, and you're going to want to have some pretty hefty solar and some extra batteries. But I think for most of us, a big dual slide model like this, it's perfectly park friendly, and that's probably how it's going to stay. Flipping right around the other way in that front compartment, just to kind of give you some bearings here. I like that big wide door. You see a button there for the power stabilizer jacks just to the left of the simple side mount solar prep plug. Remember, you can also operate those jacks off your remote control. If you're looking, you might notice that's a short awning, but no worries, because there's a second awning directly on the slide out. And I really think that's one of the things Wildwood did very, very well here. A lot of brands, especially in this class, they'll try to just like give you one 18-foot awning that barely covers the slide and the entry door, and that's it. Problem is, the slide will eat up a lot of it. And, you know, now you don't have that problem. Now you're maintaining all of your space. Up front here, we've got our power tongue jack, so it has dual power awnings, 4-corner power stabilizer jacks, power tongue jack on the front, and a partridge in a pear tree. Overall, I mean, the exterior looks great. I'm not seeing any sort of weathering, fading, flaking. I haven't detected bumps, bruises, dings on the skirting. It looks like it's been very well kept. Tires look good. No sun fading or checking or weathering on those. She's backup camera ready. The spare tire's never seen the light of day. 5/8 tongue and groove plywood floor decking, and 3/8 fully walkable roof decking as well. This model is not commonly equipped with a roof ladder due to the presence of that big giant rear window, though that is probably something I still would have done at Haylett RV, but again, we didn't build this one. And a good look at all those windows for you over here on the campsite. So if you like what you see, give us a call. Whether it's Haylett RV or Advantage One RV Brokers, we do it all. Hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.